Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, kids of all ages, welcome back to the Resonant Rise server. That's right, folks, we are back on the Resonant Rise server, back on the block. We're doing a little bit of modded Minecraft today, but we're not actually doing anything today other than saying goodbye to Resonant Rise. That's right, folks, we have reached the end of the series. I know, sad face. That's right. We've reached the end of the series because BeachBlock is coming out with some very cool things. We're doing some stuff here in the very near future, as in this weekend, that is going to replace all of this. Okay, we developed our own mod pack. Okay, so some of you may have heard like Krakaen and JT and Eternal and them all talking about Krakaen, and you may have even seen Krakaen in a couple of other people's videos. Krakaen actually is the one who developed our mod pack for us. He has been putting in tons of hours, tons of time, and it is finally ready for us to play. Now, that mod pack is also going to be available for you all to download on the AT launcher eventually. We are still working out some issues with AT so that we can actually get it listed and get it public on the website or on their download or on their launcher. Hopefully that'll occur very, very soon in the near future. But until then, you guys get to watch us play it, and then, of course, you'll be able to play along later. But so what we're going to do today is we're going to do a little world tour. Now, I have already put all of my stuff into my ME system, with the exception of my focus pouch with all the focus aspects in it, an apprentice ring, and my angel ring. Okay, so we're going to use that stuff here today to do this little world tour that we're going to go on, and then all of that stuff will go into the ME system as well. So, because here's what's going to happen: we're going to actually have a world download for this. Since this is official BeachBlock pack that we played, we're going to give you guys the opportunity to play the world after we leave as a world download. So all of my stuff will be here. I'll make sure to put the coordinates to my base in the description. You guys can blow it up if you want. If you can do whatever you want. You can play along, whatever. Yeah, that's going to be there, and you're going to be able to play in this world with my stuff, along with JT and Eternal and Krakaen and BC and everybody. But what we're going to do right now is we're going to do a little world tour. So we're going to start here at my base, obviously. So here is my infusion altar. Worked hard on this. I thought it turned out pretty good. And then, of course, the infernal furnace, along with the brain in a jar that's always looking at you. It's so creepy. No matter where I go, it looks at me. It's creepy. And then over there we got a little magical crop farm that we were using to grow yellorium, and then or yellorite. And then down here, this was going to be the underground portion of the base. I was working on the ceiling a little bit when the word came out that we were actually going to be ending the series. I knew it was getting close, but word came out that we were actually going to be ending the series, and so I was at the time I was working on this, and I thought energized glowstone and redstone. I mean, how cool would that look together? And so that's what that's all about. Let's see, what else do we got? We got the portal to the mining dimension over there. This was our first attempt at power over here. We had some capacitors and some combustion generators along with vats, and that was not a good idea. Wasn't a good idea at all. So we moved on to something bigger and better, and that was the big reactor. Down here we had our mob spawners. We were using this one for ender pearls. I think we accomplished our goal. We had tons of ender pearls when it was all said and done. We got a zombie spawner here, another brain in a jar to capture the XP. Down here, this was our big reactor, and the big reactor is running off of a RedNet controller so that we can control the amount of fuel rod insertion. So at higher RF, it doesn't make as much, so it doesn't need to make as much, so it inserts the control rods all the way, and at lower RF needs to generate some more, so it pulls the fuel rods out and lets it go about its thing. Down here was the start of the ME system. Like I said, all of my stuff is currently in here with the exception of my angel ring and my focus pouch, and you know what? Let's go ahead and get that stuff right now. We'll take the focus pouch and we'll take the apprentice ring and we'll put those in there right now. Okay, so now that stuff is in there. All I've got left is my angel ring, and I'll take that off after we're done because that's what I'm going to use to fly around. So yeah, this was my base, and what we're going to do now is we're going to just kind of make our way around the world and look at some of the other. Oh, actually, we need to go up and look at the Death Star, don't we? So let's go up here and look at the Death Star. This was the first thing that we decided we were going to build when we got out here into the middle of nowhere. It's raining right here. It's kind of weird. So we have this little entrance right here, and then that opens up into what was our beginning Thaumcraft base, as well as our smeltery. Got a little enchanting place over there that we can throw some enchantments on stuff. Up here was going to be the eventual full-blown Thaumcraft base as far as researching goes, but we didn't quite get that far. That's unfortunate. Over here, just a little observation deck. We can look out over the village down there, and then of course if we come down here, this was basically the first base of operations. We had the ender chest with some deep storage units and a bunch of diamond chests to store all of our materials. So yeah, I mean it was pretty cool. Little QED setup over there. So yeah, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to head on over to another base. I think we'll probably go to BC's base next because I think it's the next closest. And when we get there, we will show you what he has done. So hang tight. All right, so here we are at BC's place. He had been working hard on this. It was kind of one of those rundown ruin kind of places, and so he had worked really hard on putting it all back together. Did some decorating around, put in this portal frame here so that he could transport himself back and forth to some different places. He's got a little crafting terminal here that he can get into his ME system with. Excuse me, I'm sorry about that. I'll make sure that's muted. Let's see, over here was his portal to the Nether and his smeltery, but the piece de resistance for him was really his Botania setup. I mean, he doesn't have a whole lot out here. This was where he was doing his original stuff, but he's got some pretty deep mana pools here. He's got a lot of mana and has done a lot of work. But let me show you what else he did that maybe you didn't get an opportunity to see if you didn't watch all of his episodes. Oh, we don't want to go up there. We want to go down here. He had done more Botania out here. Look at this. So he's got a ton more Botania going on out here. More mana pools. He built a wall so that he could look out into the water. I mean, this guy did some good stuff. Lots of Botania all over. Of course, he's got a little ME system, an ender chest system, growing himself some gas tiers. Down here was his big reactor. Big reactor hooked up to the control that Krakaen designed and programmed, along with some molecular assemblers and more of his ME system. This guy went to town and did good stuff. This was so cool to see all of this. But yeah, I mean, he did good stuff, did good work. So what we're going to do next is, oh, this is cool. I didn't even see this up here. Oh, he's got trophies over here? He got trophies. Huh. Oh, he's got Doc M's head. Cool. And B-Dubs. Is that B-Dubs? That's B-Dub's head, right? Yep. Anderzel. Sarge. Woohoo. Cool. Awesome. Is that good? Yeah, that's good. Okay. So, anyway, we're going to go to, let's see, who do we want to go see next? How about we go and see Eternal? So, yeah, hang on tight just a minute, and we'll go over to Eternal's base. So here we are coming up to Eternal's place, and I mean, that is just awesome, isn't it? He was going to put in one of those big, like, not mechanism, but like a big Melissus door or something like that, and a big powered door, and we ended up losing that mod fairly early when in the days of the mod pack, and so this is what he came up with instead, and I tell you what, he did some really cool work here. Missed a couple of blocks there on his carpenter blocks, but all in all, I mean, this looks amazing. This is an entrance to be proud of right here. A little bit of lag coming in here because there's a lot of machines and stuff running. But as we work our way around here, we can see that he is a decorating fiend. I mean, this guy can decorate with the best of them. What do we got back here? So back here we've got his... okay, this was all his Pneumaticraft stuff. So he's got his pressure chamber over there. He's got some vortex tubes and all this other stuff for running Pneumaticraft, which is super cool. All these little machines here, like this little charging station, and back here he's got the little robots, so that's cool. What else do we got out here? Let's see. Over here, down this little chamber right here, what was this? This is QED setup. That's pretty cool. He had so many Enderflux crystals. Holy cow! I mean, you could probably build something with the QED in seconds. I mean, I never watched him build anything over here, but it was probably pretty doggone quick. Over here, let's see, what's this one? This is his steam generating setup. So both of these are going to generate steam, and they actually feed down into a couple of turbines that I'll show you here in a minute. Over here, this was his starter for his Thaumcraft base. He had his arcane alembic and alchemical furnace. He had his crucible. He even built some crystals. Cool, very cool. I wish him the best of luck with Thaumcraft because he was really starting to get into it, which is cool. Oh, he put niter out here. Cool. He put little niter balls out here to illuminate the entrance. That's pretty cool. I'll have to remember to try and do that. Back here, this was his ME system. So he's got a lot of cool molecular assemblers and some storage drives and everything. So that's pretty awesome. Over there are his inscribers. I gave him the idea for this. Gave him the idea for those carpenter slopes. Anyway, over here, what was over here? This is his like ore processing type facility. So he's got sag mills and alloy smelters to get all of his ores and everything put together. Up there, way up there, there's his whatever that thing is from Draconic Evolution, Energy Core or something like that. That thing is storing a ton of energy for him, which is awesome. Over here in the center, this is his ME controller setup. That's pretty awesome there. And then if we go down here, this is a pneumaticraft elevator that he was working on, which is awesome. Over this way, what did he have over here? Oh, this is Blaze Farm. This is where he's killing all of his blazes to run the power setup for him. Magma crucibles and such. That's pretty cool. Oh, he's got terminals all over the place. That's awesome. Over here, didn't have much going on just yet. Over here, this is cool. Over this way, we had more ore processing type stuff, but he also had these fluid tanks here that he was using to gather up all of the different kinds of fluids, lava and energized glowstone and destabilized redstone, liquid cryothium, jellied cryothium, and all that. I mean, it's pretty good stuff. And then over here, this is something that he just finished. He just had this in his last episode. These are his turbines. And these turbines are absolutely going ape nutty. Look at them. They're in there just a flying, just a whirling. And so he's generating a lot of power. Okay, so that's Eternal's base. And then if you come down this hallway right here, I had forgotten about this. JT lives really close by, and so JT built a tunnel. So Eternal's base, JT's base. So here we are, bottom of JT's base. He's got his little server room here where all of his storage drives are. And down here he's got his ME terminals and so forth. And then right over here, this should be his turbines here. Yep, there's his turbines. Just a whirling away and making power for him, which is cool. Over here, what do we have here? Oh yeah, this is cool. Little like paradise underground kind of a thing. Pretty nice. I like it a lot. It's very very tranquil, very very quaint. Very cool, very cool. And there was another doorway down here. I don't think I've ever been down this way. What's he got over here? Oh, big reactor. Okay, so yeah, this is his big reactor room. How much power is his big reactor making? None. Either that or it's just all being used. Wow. How much is this making? Ooh, again, all being used. Wow. It's making 24,000 RF per tick. This one here was making 6,000. Oh no, not 6,000. Oh yeah, so it's not really making anything at all right now. It's just making stuff for out here. That's what it is. That's what it's doing. Anyway, so over here, let's see, what else did we have? We have that's the way to get back to Eternal's base. What was this back here? This was more of his ore processing type stuff, his QED, fluid storage back there. That goes to his turbines again. Back here we got a coke oven and a blast furnace, a smeltery. Up here, what was up here? Oh, this is kind of cool. This is very cool. I like this. Oh, carpenter wedges hiding his molecular assemblers. That's cool. That is very cool. This is a nice looking place right here. I like it. I like it a lot. And I think that's it for JT's base. We can go upstairs and I'll show you the outside of his base. You know, this stuff looks really cool. It looks like, you know, like really bunkerish. Wait till you see the top of his house. I mean, if you're just from my channel and you haven't yet been to JT's channel, you really need to check him out. You need to check all of our guys out. They all do some pretty good work. But here we are. We're in the basement of JT's house now. And when I say JT's house, that's exactly what I mean. It's JT's house. He built a house. Okay? So let's go outside. And here's JT's house. Complete with a lava moat and a magical crop farm outside. So yeah, that's JT's place. So give me just a second, and we're going to head over to the last place on the tour, and that's Kraken's place. All right? All right. All right, so here we are at Kraken's place. We'll go in through the front door. I guess you call this the front door. And the very first thing that you see is you're coming through this front door, and it's real faint until you get right up on it, but a giant K. So we know that we're in Kraken's place just because, number one, look at the way this place is designed. This guy does some good work. Okay, some of these guys make me look pitiful. So I'm just happy to be able to play with these guys. These guys are pretty awesome. Krakaen puts a lot of effort into detail. So they got the billiard table over here and a nice little like dining table kind of thing to sit at, chessboard and a piano. Over here he's got some magical crops, all different kinds of magical crops, which is awesome. Over here on this side, he was doing some stuff with some swords there, but over here this is his ME system over here. So he's got molecular assemblers, he's got all the different terminals that you can have, inscribers and chargers and stuff. Over here is his sorting system. So as stuff comes back from different types of places, it gets put into a different ender chest, which is awesome. So awesome. Let's go over this. Is it this way? Back here. So he's got all this covered with glass, so you can see all of the different cables that are running for his ME system, which is so cool. I mean, I love this. This is awesome. And then over this way, if we come over here, we can actually go down this hallway over here. This hallway is pretty laggy sometimes, but yeah, if we come over here, here's his pod racer. So this was his initial power setup. He had resonant dynamos that he was using in here. So the actual engines for the pod racer are his power generation system. I thought that was really ingenious. That is so cool. Let's see, down here, what was down here? This is just going to be some like portal type stuff. So yeah, there's a portal to the deep dark. There's the nether portal. There's another portal there to get back to spawn in some other places. And then in here, if we come down this way, there's some very cool stuff that, over here, what's he got? He's got a QED over here, which is cool. He's got some different ore processing type stuff. I mean, this guy just puts a lot of detail into things, and it's very cool. Let's go downstairs. If we go down this little hallway down here, we'll see some pretty cool stuff down here too. So over here he was getting started with RF tools and building RF tools dimensions, which is awesome. And then this right here, I think this is probably one of the things that's absolutely my favorite about his base, and that is his energy core from Draconic Evolution. This thing is awesome. I mean, look at how much energy that thing's storing. It's storing 1 trillion RF. 1 trillion. He's got a bunch of ME drives. His ME controller is here. More ME drives over here. I have no idea where this goes. Oh, this goes out to his magical crops, I think, right? Yeah, goes back outside to his magical crops. So yeah, there it is, folks. That is the world tour. Now, there's one other base on the server, and that is Pecan's base, but I have no idea where it is. He ran off a long time ago, and I was never able to find his base. So, yeah, when you guys get on the server, when you guys get on the world file, feel free to roam around and see what you can find. But that's going to do it, folks. That's going to do it for Resonant Rise on the BeachBlock server. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks for making this series such a huge success. I truly do appreciate it, as do the other guys on the server. And so, with that being said, like I said, I'm going to take my angel ring and put it into my ME system. I'll make sure that the coordinates to my base are down in the description. That way you can find all my stuff. And we'll let you know when that world download is going to be available, because I'm sure it will be. And until next time, until we get kicked off with the next series, folks, we will catch you on the flip side. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.